passage between Auridon and Rodwood. I have a deal. Passage between Auridon and Rodwood. I have a deal. Passage between Auridon and Rodwood. I have a deal. Passage between Auridon and Rodwood. I have a deal.
Forgive me, Outlander, but I have enough to deal with. I'm just a simple tribunal priest, and the trouble at the ancestral tomb was too much for even our buoyant armiger to deal with. I have failed Lord Vivec, and left a colleague alone at the tomb. Lord Vivec sent the three of us to seek guidance at the Andreneau ancestral tomb. We were attacked when we got there, and our guard was seriously hurt. I barely got her to safety, but with Canon Levoul, he remained behind after we retreated from the tomb. I know he wants to get back inside and ask Lord Vivec's questions, but there's no way he can get past the Daedra, or ask the questions on his own. May the three grant him wisdom.
Jonathan, what's wrong? Someone help!
By the three! First a wounded armiger, now this!
By dawn and dusk, evil creeps through the shadows of my beloved Vardenfell. But an outlander arrives to aid my people, just as I have foreseen.
Those words, what do they mean?
What happened?
Merciful Azura, the Mother Soul spoke through you. It's a miracle!
Lord Vivec, protect me! That was Azura, the Queen of the Night Sky. And you, she spoke directly to you, Outlander. I'm surprised the Daedric Prince would risk Lord Vivec's wrath. The Daedric Prince Azura possessed that woman and spoke through her. I've heard of such occurrences, of course, but to witness such an event... She said evil creeps. You don't know Lord Vivec. One of the... Yes, one of the god monarchs of Morrowind. He's the warrior poet who lives in a grand palace in Vivek City. Lord Vivek sent us on this holy mission to request information from Canon Levoul's ancestors.
Those monsters, it's too dangerous. What am I going... Did Canon Valasar send you? Oh, she did, didn't she? That means she made it to Seydanin. Vivek be praised. Will you help me complete my mission? As the saints declare, the tribunal always provides. We'll need to be... However, Daedra invaded. Take this scroll with Lord Vivek's inquiries, while I summon forth my ancestor spirit and concentrate on maintaining the connection. We're really going to do this. I wish I knew how Daedra got into my family tune, but follow me, but keep an eye out for those Daedra.
Yeah!
Careful! The creatures attacked as soon as we entered the Hall of Remembrance. This used to be such a peaceful place. I came here as a young acolyte to meditate. nearly there. Then we can summon my ancestor. The summoning chamber. I'll call forth my ancestor, then you can ask Vivek's questions.
Hasn't my rest been disturbed enough by those filthy Daedra? Why do you summon me, descendant?
My Lord Vivek has inquiries that only you can answer, my lady. My companion will present them, with your permission.
The warrior poet? Very well. Ask Vivek's questions. Ask the warrior poet's question. Ah, Lord Vivek. An enemy of old, yes. But not the one that Vivek presumes. Sotha Sil imagined multiple scenarios and contemplated endless solutions. He even experimented with his divinity, drawing energy to study before returning it. Loss will come, he foresaw, but not until the collapse of the temple.
I hope that's what Lord Vivek needed. Let's talk outside. Thank you for helping me complete my task. Now, I need to return to Vivek City. Have you been there? It's amazing. Ziggurats rising out of the water, the moonlit hanging in the sky above. You should meet me there so I can introduce you to Lord Vivek. Just between us, I understood neither the questions asked nor the answers received. Not that I expected to. Some things aren't meant for mortal minds. That's another reason for you to come to Vivek City, to help me explain what my ancestors said. Excellent. I just need to make a quick stop in Seydanin to check on my original traveling companions. When you get to Vivek City, head right to the palace and I'll meet you. I'll be along shortly. When you get to Vivek City, head directly for Lord Vivek. Of course. As I said, the tribunal consists of our 3 living gods, Vivek, Almalexia, and Sotha Sil. They lead us in spiritual matters and rule over Dunmer society as god monarchs of the Dark Elves. Unfortunately, no. The Dunmer houses bow to the tribunal, but the savage Ashlanders refuse to acknowledge their divinity. The heretics never allowed themselves to be assimilated into the great houses. Instead, they hold to primitive superstitions.
Please, Vivek!
This is the person who helped me at the tomb, my lord.
Lord Vivek, we don't need the help of this outlander.
Oh, hush, Archcanon Tarvis. Outlanders have their usefulness, and this one intrigues me.
As you say. I'll be in my office if you need me.
Step forward, friend of Lavul, and let us speak. Canon Level says you helped him in his mission. As I have written, the one who helps my ally becomes my friend. Despite the Archcanon's concerns, I greet you with sincerity and pose a simple question. Will you assist us further, Outlander? I have ordinators and armigers at my disposal. Vast armies of followers and dedicated priests. What I don't have, however, is a fresh perspective. Will you set aside your personal goals for a time and become the eyes and ears of a god? Good. I need assistance to investigate a strange phenomenon that the Ancestor confirmed may indeed be a problem. We'll start...
Ah, Outlander. Lord Vivek trusts too much to put his faith in one such as you, but who am I to question my god? I suppose he sent you to me so I could put you to work? Did he say which task he wants us to accomplish first? Ah, yes. We do need to perform a ritual to reveal the nature of the phenomenon that vexes Lord Vivek. Now listen, despite my objections, Vivek believes you were sent to help, so I'll do my best to assist you. Go to the ziggurat that's still under construction and tell the Overseer that Lord Vivek requires the Blessing Stone. Then bring it to me in the palace. You receive a simple errand in the service of Lord Vivek, and countless questions form unbidden in your mind. Very well. Go ahead. Ask your question. Overseership.
This project has been nothing but one disaster after another.
How am I expected to get this ziggurat built on time when things constantly go wrong? Our blessing stone? Do you know what happens if we give up our blessing stone? Well, neither do I. But I'm sure it won't put us back on schedule or end our string of disasters. Lord Vivek! Well, why didn't you say so? But I'll need your help before I can turn over the blessing stone. I appreciate the help. Yeah! Yeah!
Thank you. I'll go tell the Overseer what you did for me.
I can't move! Help! I thought I was gonna die under there. Oh, thanks for saving me.
Praise Vivek!
The Outlander returns. I understand there was trouble at the construction site. Hear the words of the warrior poet, and reveal the source of Lord Vivek's distress. An Ashlander? A clockwork mage? A Daedric cultist? Something interfered with the ritual, my lord. But we may have learned something. Excuse me while I compare the results to our previous research.
Between the cryptic warnings of the ancestor spirit and the unexpected result of the divination ritual, I fear there may be more astir than I imagined. We solve the great we learn from every action we take. No, not as images that suggest avenues to investigate, riddles to solve. Let me tell you a secret, Outlander. It concerns a living god, an energy that fades like daylight as dusk spreads across the land. Listen well, and speak not a word. My divine energy, it drains away. Whether from illness or foul malady, I know not. You must travel the land and seek answers on my behalf. But first, gratitude before service, as I have written. So thank you. The ritual confirmed my worst fears. Divine energy flows out of me for no reason that I can discern. I felt the power imbued, to quote my own words as the warrior poet. No lock exists that the determined thief cannot open. Something drains my energy. Find Archcanon Tarvis in his office, and ask if he gleaned anything useful from the ritual. If not, I know his earlier research indicated new avenues to investigate. My divine energy diminishes with every... Yes. While Archcanon Tarvis has always been cautious about ideas and ideologies that didn't originate within the Tribunal,
I performed that ritual countless times, and it never exploded in my face before. If I discover that you sabotaged the divination... No. How do you know about... Lord Vivec told you? Of course he did. It's true. I'm much better at scholarly pursuits than fieldwork. And the ritual wasn't a total failure. It confirmed 3 locations for my... Haven't you left yet? The sites at Balmer, Aldrin, and Barrelzal's Tower.
best mounts in all of Vardenfell, right here.
They say Lord Garrosh really saved Haven from pirates. But this one knows it was you.
I can't believe they want us to go outside the house to find Nevaeh.
What is it?
Get yourself a drink. And one for me.
Please, this one needs to get out of here. Those cultists, they're insane.
All right, but keep your voice down. I'll be ready to leave soon enough. In the meantime, if anyone asks, you're just here to haul cargo.
What? Who? This one is just here to haul cargo. Cultists? This one said nothing about cultists. Perhaps you are thinking of another Khajiit. Look, Renaku just wants to leave all these crazy dark elves behind and find a safer mine to work in. The Shulk ore mine is cursed. No one likes a Gwar liquor, you clawless kitten. It happened a few days back. Weird cultists just barged in and took over the mine. This one managed to get away, but the crew chief and some of the others are still out there. Happy now, fish breath?
Well?
stupid dog.
What happened? Let me see.
I just tried to pet it. Damn dog bit me. Leave it alone.
You shouldn't be here. Didn't you read the House Redarin proclamation? I wouldn't be here myself, but some of my miners are still in there. Our mine was invaded by violent cultists. They showed up and just took the place over. My people are trapped. I'm no expert, but it looked like the cultists were preparing to conduct a ritual before the Ashlander interrupted them. Probably because I heard one of them say, "With this ritual we'll call forth a mystical weapon and attain the power of a god." Or something along those. Look. Slander showed up. Really? That's awfully brave of you. If you see any of my miners, tell them to get their arses out here. I'll wait as long as I can. Or until I hear screaming. Then I'll go to...
Daydream.
Do you think the miners were feeding that troll?
Small thieves! Stop them!
Did you find what you were looking for in the mine? Of course. I perfectly understand. I think I'll wait a little longer and see if any of my miners were...
I demand to see my brother. Lay hands upon me, and you will lose them. You there! The territory of the Red Exiles shouldn't be traveled lightly. Ashlanders once respected each other. Lord Vivek, is it? And I thought all the tribunal cared about was building monuments to their own greatness. Nice to see that one of them cares about what's going on beyond their borders. Well, perhaps we can aid each other this day, Outlander. Ashlanders are nomads, but we gather at sacred sites to trade, confer, and pay homage to the past. Aldrin is such a place. That's why Chodala invited the Red Exiles here. But these outcasts won't let me into their camp. I need to find my brother. My brother, Chodala, is the Ashkan of our tribe, and I am his ambassador. I act as a go-between among the tribes. Chodala wants to unite the Dunmer and calmly end the era of the bickering houses. He hopes to convince the tribes to follow his lead. Head into the Red Exiles camp and find my brother. Otherwise, Chodala went to meet with the Red Exiles leader and hasn't returned. If I enter the camp and have to kill any of those foolish outcasts, it could have serious repercussions for our negotiations. No, just our tribe, the Urshilaku. Though as you saw, hostility is second nature to the Red Exiles. We're here to negotiate, but they're no better than thieves and murderers. If they spot you in their camp, you'll need to defend yourself. It's unfortunate, but they'll leave you no choice. You seem to have survived your visit to the Red Exiles camp. Did you find my brother? You seem to have survived your visit to the Red Exiles camp. Interesting. I never suspected that the outcasts were disciplined enough to keep records such as this. Oh no. I can't believe my brother would be so... It means that Chodala really has changed. With his newfound powers and rising ambitions, I fear what he plans for the tribes. I suppose Chodala discovered new power out in the wilderness, and it's his view of the world. He writes about it in that document. Now he believes he's a Nerevarine, and incites the tribes, while I try to keep them all from doing anything rash. While the prophecy of the Nerevarine can be interpreted as the end of the tribunal, I have always seen it as a prediction of hope and peace. Chodala and some Ashlanders, he uses in Ashkon's words to plant dark ideas in his followers. Ideas that speak of false gods, lost traditions, and the need for a cleansing war. His words become more forceful every day, but I hope to all I know is that his new power frightens me. Chodala returned from a sojourn in the wilderness more vibrant, more commanding. He's always been strong, but now he's fearless. Chodala says his new abilities strengthen his claim as the Nerevarine. I think it's the staff he carries. He had it when he returned. You don't know? I thought... No, you're not an Ashlander. And the House Elves rarely talk about such things. Long ago, there was a hero named Nerevar. He fought, so our legends say. Nerevar united the Kaima and forged an alliance with the Dwemer. He died at the Battle of Red Mountain. We believe the tribunal hastened his demise, despite Vivek's claims to the contrary. The Nerevarine is a promise and a prophecy. We believe that, through the power of Azura, Nerevar will return to unite all Dunmer, House and Ashlander alike, and make Morrowind great again. The returned Nerevar will be known as the Nerevarine.
Help! Someone, please help!
You too? This is ridiculous.
I'm sorry, Telenra, but my wife insists we try a real mage.
Hold, citizen.
Such displeasure and disappointment. Nothing works, even though every calculation is precise. Now an interruption. How infuriating. Wait. Sometimes the great gear turns from frustration to opportunity. Divine energy. I'll have you know I participated in Lord Sother Seal's 9 analyses of the exalted enigmas. But we have more important matters. I'm about to determine the correlation between color and time, and I could use another set of hands. A reciprocal exchange. Interesting, yes. I can see the benefits of such an arrangement. Very well. Just activate the crystals in the proper sequence while I modulate the energy flow. Less chance of an explosion that way. Such a waste repeating words. Activate the crystals in the proper order. It's all about colors, like a rainbow. Make a mistake and reset the mechanism using that lever, unless it explodes. You'd be surprised how often that happens. Smoke instead of light. Not the reaction I was hoping for. No! Reset the mechanism and try again. A good start. Keep going. Correct. So far, so good. Like clockwork you are. Close, very close. One more to go. Yes, I love it when the gears are loud. Perfect! Such are the benefits of an extra set of appendages. The energy flows freely and without disruption, allowing the rods and the pistons to align in a most pleasing manner. Thank you. Now, why do you want to know about divine energy? Scent. How intriguing. I was just thinking about my former master, Sotha Seal, and the experiments we conducted. He desperately sought to understand the power he and his companions attained, especially whether or not that power was temporary. Not while I assisted him. He had a tool that he used to drain away minute bits of his own divine energy to store and study. He could extract it and return it as he saw fit. Not sure what became of the tool, but here are my notes from those days. More questions? Well, Lord Sotha Seal attributed curiosity to intellectual superiority. Suppose I should do the same. Ask, and I will attempt to tighten the cogs of your ongoing education as best I can. Odd question. Is a hammer a weapon? A saw? A Dwemer spring spanner? No, it was just a tool. A device crafted by Sotha Seal to aid in his endless experiments. Suppose I could imagine ways to modify the device, but for what reason? Haven't a clue. Tools have a way of wandering off when you don't stay vigilant. Had a guar that used to swallow tools when I wasn't looking. Glowed for a month until the enchantment dissipated and the tool passed. Should have heard the screams. I was his apprentice, but that was years ago. Spent time working in the Clockwork City. That's what I learned about energy transference, Dwemer engineering, mechanical symmetry. Made me the dark elf I am today. I have a question. The Archcanon, Lord Vivek's High Priest. Suddenly the gears align. I can think of a number of reasons that Alm and V would want to know about C and his tools, but some doors just shouldn't be opened. He's the father of mysteries and the architect of time, one of the tribunal, the three living gods of the Dark Elves. Creates all sorts of helpful and intriguing devices, like the Clockwork City. I haven't seen my old master in many years. It's a wonder and a miracle. All brass tunnels, glass domes, and giant gears. He was inspired by the work of the Dwemer. The Clockwork City is pure Sotha Seal. He made it to forge the future and reshape the world. I learned a lot there.
At last. Did you see what's happening outside? Red Mountain rumbles louder and more frequently. The sky grows dark, and worst of all, the people are beginning to notice. Soon I'll have to muster the Ordinators to keep them from the palace doors. In part, Lord Vivec is not well. I won't allow his followers to see him in this state. He continues to lose energy, and it's becoming difficult for him to maintain the realm in his usual fashion. Now, what did your investigations uncover? I'll review these documents and present your findings to Lord Vivec. I was against bringing you into this investigation, but I was wrong. Thank you for aiding us. You should go see Lord Vivec now. He's been asking about you. I'll be along shortly. Very well. Tell me what you learned at each of the locations, and let's see what conclusions we can come to. Barrelzal faithfully served Sotha Sil. He's as loyal to the Tribunal as I am. He would never intentionally harm Lord Vivec. But that tool he mentioned... Perhaps one of the priests Vivec sent away could search the temple archives for more information. Lord Vivec doesn't want his followers to see him in such a weakened state. Only you, Canon Levuel, and myself are permitted into his palace now. Speaking of the palace, Lord Vivec wants to see you when we're done here. So your notes say, and this Saren assisted you. Interesting. Most Ashlanders want nothing to do with the Tribunal. Even so, they rarely become aggressive. I'd say this Chodala bears watching. If we can spare it, I'll send an armiger to Aldrin. Interesting theory. Perhaps Chodala's staff can steal Vivec's energy. But I have a hard time imagining how an Ashlander could accomplish such a feat. Lord Vivec said the draining has grown more intense since you left. It doesn't look well. From what you discovered, I dare say there may be a correlation between the narcotic relic and the tool Barrelzal mentioned. And it seems the Ashlander thieves are connected to Chodala. Your evidence points to a clear conclusion. So it appears. Lord Vivek's doing his best not to complain, but I can see how much the draining of his energy has cost him. Just seeing you again should improve his mood considerably. And the progress you made with your investigations, outstanding.
You will stop. It's not that I'm above bribery, it's that I'd better not have shortchanged me.
I demand you make way and let me see Lord Vivek.
Lord Vivek isn't receiving visitors today.
My lord, please let me send for aid. Perhaps one of the healers can help you.
Pain is best tolerated in private, as I have written in the 37th ballad.
There must be something I can do.
You can call the Archcanon. He should hear the news our friend brings us. The river drains into the sea, as my divinity flows out of me. Needs some work. As you can see, I continue to lose energy, and it has made me somewhat agitated. Have you made any progress toward discovering the source of my discomfort? An Ashlander? That seems unlikely, but I trust your instincts. We need to find out more about this Chodala and the ancient enemy that aids him.
My lord, the Outlander may have actually discovered something. After further examination of the documents you brought back, I have to agree with your assessment. The Ashlander Chodala has somehow siphoned divine energy away from Lord Vivek. Not exactly. But now that we know that the affliction isn't natural, we can work toward a solution, one that probably involves Chodala's staff. How the Ashlander got his hands on Sothasil's tool and turned it into a weapon is beyond me, though. Eventually, but we need to be cautious. If Chodala is as respected as you say, attacking him would start a war we can't afford to partake in. Go to Aldrin and talk to his sister, Saren. I don't trust her either, but she worked with you before. Get to Aldrin and locate Saren. She needs to tell us more about Chodala, and then help us acquire his staff.
Outlander, quickly! This way! I've been thinking about my brother's claim that he's the Nerevarine since we last spoke. No matter how I try, the word tastes false on my tongue. And now I fear he's about to convince the wise woman that his quest for power will benefit the tribes. My brother is respected and revered. He has allies in all of the tribes. not to mention his personal Red Exiles. We have to proceed with caution. Respect the Ashlander customs and traditions. Anything else will lead to violence and bloodshed. We talked to my brother. Tried to convince him this isn't the way. Barring that, we make sure the wise woman doesn't get drawn into his madness. Whatever Chodala says or does, don't attack him. We don't need a war between the houses and the Ashlanders. The wise woman. I was hoping she'd be here.
You're too late, dear sister. Despite your protestations, the wise woman has gone to the cave of the Incarnate to confirm my claim.
Brother, do you really want to pursue this dangerous course?
There was a time when you gave me your unconditional support, Seren. I miss those days.
My brother Chodala's about to do something foolish and dangerous. But by dusk and dawn, Azura put you and I on the same path for a purpose. I just hope we have enough time. He's about to claim the title of the Nerevarine and try to unite the Ashlander tribes gathered here. He already convinced the Red Exiles to support him. He's using them to intimidate the other tribes. If he persuaded the Wise Woman to his cause... Wise Woman Dovrasi, the most respected counselor and spirit guide this side of Red Mountain. She went to the Cavern of the Incarnate to meditate on Chodala's claim. If she confirms my brother's assertion, the tribes will follow. Agreed, but I dare not leave Chodala alone with the tribes. I feel the hand of Azura in all this. Go to the Cavern of the Incarnate and talk to the Wise Woman. The cavern's to the northeast of Aldrin, on the other side of the mountain. Hopefully, the rumbling and... When Chodala became a Gulakan, a champion of our people, I supported him. When he stepped forward as Ashkan, leader of our tribe, I was at his side. My brother isn't the first to believe he's Nerevar returned. All of the previous failed incarnates rest within the cavern. A statue of Azura watches over them as they await the arrival of the true Nerevarine.
She won't refuse my claim. Just in case, make sure the Red Exiles are ready.
Your word is law, Nerevarine.
Bow your head, Outlander. You may not...
Ah, a fellow outsider in this inhospitable sea of ash. I wonder if we might help each other.
Azura is my shield, you foul creatures. Thank you for aiding me, but I sense you came for a different purpose. Let's talk inside the cavern. An outlander? Surely there must be another way. No, my lady, of course not. I'll do as you ask. Come here, outlander. We must talk. It feels strange to talk to an outlander in such a sacred place, but the Queen of the Night Sky insists. I need to render judgment on an important claim, and she says you can help me reach the correct decision. Words of truth from the mouth of an outlander. Remarkable. The Red Exiles and a few others believe that Chodala is the Neraverian. He's convinced them, but not me. Perhaps, but I must remain impartial. If someone else reveals the flaws in Chodala's claims by comparing him to the failed incarnates, that might do the trick. We thought the incarnates were possessed by the spirit of Nerevar, but each had a critical flaw that made them destined to fail to fulfill the prophecy. Their spirits reside here. Yes, take this pouch of blessed grave dust. Sprinkle a pinch upon the bones of the incarnates to call forth their spirits. Return to Aldrin after you have learned all you can. Perhaps we can curb Chodala's ambitions before they lead us to war. We need knowledge to defeat Chodala, Outlander. Once I was the hope of my people, but then my claim was proven false. Now I wait, and I hope for the Neraverian's return. State your question, Alec. To fulfill the prophecy, I followed a path of blood and war. In the end, my path became a road that led nowhere, and I was cast down from my lofty spot. Take my scroll, and help the wise woman understand the futility of a senseless war.
The Neraverian remains a promise unfulfilled, and I am as guilty of prideful posturing as every other failed incarnate that occupies this hall. Ask your question and let's be done with this, Outlander. The Neraverian must listen as well as proclaim. I refuse to accept wise counsel, which led to the doom of my tribe and the end of my quest to embody the spirit of Nerevar. Take my scroll and remind the wise woman that wisdom ignored is ignorance.
We are the failed incarnates. Take my scroll and help the wise woman see the live, unbridled power. I thought myself the reborn Nerevar, for I was the strongest, most powerful warrior in all the land. But power alone won't save my people.
Mortal, let us speak. I foresaw your usefulness before you even set foot in Vardenfell. Now comes a test that will challenge your ability to separate truth from lies. Doversy's wisdom outshines most other mortals. She recognizes the futility of Chodala's claim. If she rebuffs him, however, the tribes will turn on each other, and blood will flow. The staff, Sunra, it makes Chodala confident, reckless. Your instincts served you well. Chodala's path took a dark turn. However, my sight clouds when I look too closely. Sothasil built Sunra, but he did not create it with this vile purpose in mind. You must act on my behalf, and then go Return to Aldrune and help the wise woman reveal the falsehood of... Use what the Incarnate shared with you. Their failures point the way toward Chodala's downfall. But beware Chodala's power. Due to an ancient pact, I am not permitted to interfere in the affairs of Nirn. Even this casual discussion pushes the boundaries of that agreement. Instead, I must work through trusted agents, such as yourself and Saren. Helping that arrogant imposter? Whatever gave you the idea that I was helping that murderer? Vardenfell must stand. Everything I do in this regard serves that single goal. Best that you remember that.
Thank the moon and star. You've returned. The wise woman returned from the cavern of the Incarnate and went right into Scar to meet with the tribes. An Outlander has no status in the Council. The Ashlanders won't listen to a word you say. Someone else has to present. You spoke to the Incarnates, not me. I'm familiar with their stories, but I'll need you to help me choose the appropriate argument to counter each of Chodala's claims. I hate opposing my brother in this. I just don't see another way. Incarnate Runso was strong and powerful. He thought that by strength alone, he could unite the Ashlanders. He failed. When Chodala proclaims his power, that's when we'll refer to this scroll's sad tale. Incarnate Darnot thought his way was the best way. He rejected the counsel of the Wise Women and the Ashkans, something Nerevar would never do. When Chodala proclaims he knows better than anyone, we'll use this scroll. Incarnate Ajiri was a champion of my people. She defended us against great threats, but when she grew to love war for war's sake, she proved she was... Incarnate Runso was strong and powerful. Incarnate Ajiri was a champion of my people. She defended us against great threats, but when she grew to love war for war's sake, she proved... Incarnate Darnot thought his way was the best way. He rejected the counsel of... Meet me inside.
Must we continue this farce? It's obvious that I'm the Nerevarine.
Someone has stepped forward to challenge your claim, Chodala.
Seren, I'm disappointed in you, dear sister.
Enough. I shall hear your arguments and render my decision.
Even the Outlander can see that I'm the most powerful Ashkan. My strength alone proves that I am the Nerevarine.
Chodala puts forth his great strength as proof of his claim. Yes, that's a sound argument. Incarnate, appear!
As a warrior and as an Ashkan, I was the most powerful of my age. But for all my strength, I failed my people. Don't follow my example.
The faithless houses dare to threaten our land, but we shall meet them in battle, and I will lead us to victory.
This is more nerve-wracking than I anticipated. That makes sense. Incarnate, appear!
I thought the path to the Nerevarine was a path of blood and battle, but my love of war was my undoing. War is not the way.
These failed incarnates prove nothing! I need no counsel but my own, as befits my status as the Nerevarine.
I think it's working. One more strong, of course. Incarnate, appear!
I refuse to accept the counsel of the Wise Women and the Ashkans. I thought I knew best, but I knew nothing.
Seren and the Outlander, their arguments have merit. Chodala, we deny your claim. You are not the Nerevarine.
This proves nothing! Look how the staff protects me! I am the Nerevarine! Red Exiles, slay the unbelievers!
No!
To the side! Flank!
Go to my hut and get my
I hate what my brother's become.
No. Right away, wise woman.
Mortal, I would have words with you. Chodala has been revealed as a failed Nerevarine, but that hasn't dissuaded him from his reckless course of action. As long as he wields the staff, he shall be Time is against you, mortal. Even now, Vivek, that pompous usurper, grows increasingly weaker. As much as I deplore him, Vivek cannot fall to Chodala's vile magic. There's another power at work here. One I can't quite put my finger on. Return to Vivek City. Do what you can to aid Vivek, and pay heed to my faithful vessel, Seren. I name her Champion of the Moon and Star. She will play a pivotal role in ending her brother's march toward godhood, if she survives.
That was exhilarating.
Mountains particularly active today.
Pull yourself together.
As a god weakens, so too does his city suffer. I know my people grow fearful. Even the Archcanon is distressed. But the energy that remains to me holds the moonlit in the sky, at least for now. So what news does my eyes and ears bring to me? How this upstart Ashlander learned to attune Sotha Seal's tool confounds my understanding. And he dares use my power? Still, your help is appreciated.
Due to Lord Vivek's condition, it falls upon. Lord Vivek must conserve his remaining energy. Staff. How should I know? That's not a skill the Tribunal teaches. Return to Barrelzar's tower and get Sotha Seal's former apprentice to come up with some kind of countermeasure. I'm sure he knows more than he's told you. I do have one concern, though. You see right through me, Outlander. I have more worries than a Kwama queen has eggs. I'm talking about Chodala's sister. Seren claims to want to help, to want peace, but I don't trust her. Seek out Barrelzar, but be wary of the Ashlander's sister. We need to stop Chodala, and to do that, we need to find a way to overcome the device he's wielding. Find Barrelzar and make sure that crazy mage provides you with something. Is the bull sure it can bed the Betty? No. But by all accounts, we'll be better off with Sunara in our hands and away from Chodala. The female Ashlander? Well, if that wasn't enough of a reason, remember that she's also Chodala's sister. Blood sings to blood. Vivek loves this land, and the land loves him in return. He's always had a special bond with Vardenfell. Lord Vivek's intervention stopped the moonlit from crashing into the city. He holds it above us by strength of will. But as he weakens, so too does the power that keeps the rock afloat. If Vivek's energy wanes further, it would spell disaster.